Hello, my name is Travis Cleven, and I will be providing the voiceover for our presentation today. My group, which consists of Anthony Lozano, Antonio Cia, Sean Burke, and myself, Travis Cleveland, focused on numbers and operation in base 10 for kindergarten through second grade. Again, the standard that our group focused on are all under number and operation in base 10, specifically kindergarten through second grade. The main concept for these standards are to be able to work with numbers 11 through 19 to gain the foundation necessary to understand place value, and then to use place value in understanding the properties of operation to adding and subtracting. In kindergarten specifically, students will learn to work with numbers 11 through 19 to gain the foundational knowledge for place value. They will learn to compose and decompose numbers 11 through 19 into tens and one groups. The example above shows how many numbers can be decomposed using manipulatives such as blocks. Here, this slide further unpacks that standard for A1 by further explaining the goal of the standard, the conceptual knowledge of how to represent numbers in sets of tens and ones, combining said sets, and also breaking the sets apart. This standard requires students to understand in a T number how many sets of tens and how many ones are present. In order to work towards this standard, students must first able to identify and count numbers from 1 through 10 and have one-to-one number correspondence. Common misconceptions for this standard often include confusion with the names of numbers, difficulty with counting, and confusion with place value. An example of this standard can be done daily. The students can utilize manipulatives to represent a T number, thereby allowing them to draw illustration in order for them to write the equation and whole number in a team book. Each day, the value will increase by 1, so 11 through 19 would all be represented on a different day. Each day, the students will have an informal assessment through peer review. The students will work in teams to compare their work and clarify their logic. Once the team numbers book is complete, it will be submitted and formally graded by the teacher. Lastly, to incorporate technology into the standard, students can play the place value game where students will use ones and 10 blocks to make specific numbers. In this online game, students simply click on the blocks to add them. In this video, which is available in YouTube, offers example how to use place value in a way easily understandable to kindergarten students. The teacher explains how to use a tens frame and what it means when the tens frame is filled up. In first grade, the standards are built upon the foundational knowledge acquired in kindergarten. These standards further understanding of numbers and operations in base 10, and having an understanding of two-digit numbers, and that two-digit number represents a specific amount of tens and ones. This standard is more specifically broken into three parts. The first is that 10 can be thought as a bundle of 10 ones. The second is that the numbers 11 through 19 are composed of a 10 and 1, 2, 3, etc. ones. The third part of the standard is that students will understand that all numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. refer to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. sets of 10 and no ones. This first rate standard, which I just explained, requires the student acquire the computational knowledge that 10 can be composed of two more than two parts. That team number are composed of a 10 and some 1, and that these combinations can slowly be shown virtually with a 10 frame and double 10 frame and record with a number bond or an equation. The essential questions for this standard are how can we use this in real life? And what is the benefit of being able to group numbers by 10? In order to do this, students will need to already know how to count numbers 0 through 20, understand that 10 ones make up a 10, and understand the concept of tens and ones. In working on the standard, the common misconception among students is that they may reverse the digits, which would mean they need more opportunities to decompose numbers into groups using concrete manipulatives. Another misconception is that they may have difficulty differentiating number words that sound alike, like 50 and 15. In this case, having